never felt like I had much control over my own money because everybody was pulling from the same, which is great. We did that. We set our family up that way.
Yeah.
But like towards the end, it was just really hard. When we all first started, there was kind of like this thing. We weighed in on what bills should be paid, how we were going to pay, who got priority. And then the last several years, Cody would just take out funds and I don't know what for. And the money was just being spent, and lots of it.
I was a father to 18 and a husband to more than just Janelle.
Hi friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Monday, January 27th, 2025. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Janelle, Christine, Robin, Mary, Kody Brown, the sister wives. The show this week was again more about money and buying stuff, moving on, and what to do with finances. And you know what they always say? There's no better way to destroy relationships than to go into business with your family and also to lend money or have pooled money with family members and steal from your family, right? And in this episode, we see Janelle and Mary start to put some of the pieces together as they try to unravel everything that's happened over the last decade and a half since they've been on Sister Wives. You know, for the last decade and a half, what they did was they used a show on TLC to promote an illegal lifestyle, and they benefited off the profiting of promoting an illegal lifestyle. They technically left the state of Utah because Utah was actually investigating them not only for bigamy, but they were verifying and wanting to look into whether or not Kody Brown and his wives were going to be making an income off of the promotion of a crime. Because in Utah, it was a felony. And at the time when they started filming, they were like, wait a minute, are you promoting criminal activity and getting paid? And as soon as these sort of inquiries started, Kody and the wives fled. You know, it's difficult in this world because if we thought about it this way, say someone who was out there selling illegal substances decided they were going to have an entire show where they literally just did a show about how they were a person that sold illegal substances. Then imagine after all it's been said and done, the people that were part of the show that was promoting what they do, selling illegal substances, then their partners break up and the two business partners that have this illegal business then start fighting over the proceeds of the legal business. And then they want to bring in the courts to fight over the proceeds of the illegal business. That's the problem we have with sister wives right now. You know, if you want to think of it in this grand scheme of profiting off crime, that's what they did. And what are they doing now? They're fighting over dirty money in a way. And it's money that was pooled into a family pot, which helped the Browns do whatever they wanted to do with that money. And Kody and these women are now trying to figure out and sort through these issues. Now, profiting off of polygamy made them wealthy, very wealthy, so much so that Kody has been able to buy things and liquidate assets and have really large homes. He has a $2 million home now in Flagstaff. He's sitting on over $1 million in property at Coyote Pass. And today they're fighting over that proceed. They're fighting over the bank accounts. And Janelle and Mary are starting to wake up to the fact that, wait a minute, Kody was stealing our money. But was he stealing money? Yes. I mean, technically, the money they made was legal. It was legal. And as long as they, I guess, build this as entertainment and for entertainment purposes only, you know, maybe they could somehow get around these laws. Now, when they moved to Vegas, Vegas's laws were a lot more lax. And so they didn't have the same issues there. And Nevada never cared about going after them for that. And as Arizona apparently doesn't either. But now they're kind of sorting through this. And something that Janelle made a comment about in this recent episode was that towards the end of the family relationships, before everyone was leaving, Kody was basically just liquidating the family accounts and spending it on whatever he wanted. And we know that for the last several years of the families, at least since the time they moved to Flagstaff, Kody didn't really spend a lot of time with the other wives. So to act like other people beyond Robin and Kody benefited from the money would be asinine. But once Janelle says that Cody liquidated their accounts and it was just going out the door and he was spending it like on anything he wanted, Cody gets super defensive and pretends like he was spending the money on other people besides Janelle because he had 18 kids. Mind you, 12 of those kids were with Janelle and Christine. And we know the money wasn't going there. So what kids were actually benefiting from it? Mary already said it wasn't hers. Robin and Cody. Check it out.
So we had a lot of places that money needed to go that weren't always Janelle's business. But Janelle was doing the bookkeeping, so some of the bills to be paid by all of us were supposed to be paid by her.
He loves this mantra that somehow I was the all-powerful one with all the financial control. I really was just the person who recorded the transactions and sent them to the CPA.
Let's be honest. If you're going to believe Cody or Janelle on a scale of 1 to Janelle is the most honest and Cody is the least honest, I'm going to believe that Janelle is the most honest because, well, not always. She's not the most honest, but she's more honest than Cody. But here, let's talk about it. What did Janelle have during the period of time for the last several years from the time they moved to Flagstaff? She didn't have a house because Cody wouldn't buy her a house. She didn't at one point even have an apartment or a rental. So she moved into a RV that Cody didn't pay for. She actually had to take out a loan for. She still has a loan out for to this day. Let's see, Christine owned a home, but that was purchased before they got there. And once she got there, she's the one that made the payments on all of that. So we know that Cody wasn't giving her money. Christine didn't get any new cars. And then Isabel drove Cody's Lexus, that same Lexus he'd had in the very beginning of the episode's very first season. So it wasn't like a lot of money was going out to Christine's family. You had Peyton in the National Guard, so he wasn't in college. They weren't paying for college for Peyton. They weren't paying for college for McKelty. Aspen was going through college. I don't think they were paying for Aspen's college, though. And so where was the money going? Not to Christine's kids. Okay, so we made that clear. Then let's go to Janelle's kids. Let's see. Garrison, who was alive at the time, was in the National Guard, so Cody definitely wasn't paying for his education. Hunter went to the Air Force Academy, and his education was free through the Air Force Academy, so he wasn't paying for his education. Maddie was married to Caleb and wasn't in college, so definitely wasn't paying for Maddie and Caleb. And Logan was going to school in Nevada, and by the time he graduated from college, Cody and they were still in Nevada. And Logan wasn't relying on mom and dad to pay for his graduate school. So Gabriel, maybe? I don't know. But outside of that, the money wasn't going to Janelle's kids. It wasn't going to Janelle's housing. It wasn't going to Christine's housing. It didn't go to Mary's housing. And Leon's schooling was paid for by Mary. Okay, so you got that? So when Cody says that he had all these other bills to pay, really what he means is he had art that he needed to purchase for the walls at her house, Robin's house, which upwards of, tens of thousands of dollars. He had Rolex watches that he needed to purchase. He had guns he needed to buy. He had Tiffany jewelry, David Yurman jewelry. He had designer clothes that he needed to purchase. He needed to purchase knickknacks that were very expensive, geodes for the amethyst geodes for the house. He basically put all of his money into Robin's house in art, in crap, and in Robin's jewelry, and on his jewelry, and on his wrist. That's where the money went. It didn't go to anyone else. And for him to act like it went anywhere else but there, he's delusional. And then to try to put it on Janelle like she's in charge of paying the bills. So what are you saying, Cody? On the one hand, you're saying that you paid for Coyote Pass all on your own, but then on your other hand, you're saying that Janelle's the one that paid the bills. So how is it that you paid for 92% of one lot on your own if Janelle paid the bills? Make it make sense. It's the double speak for me.
I'm so glad Mary understands it's wise to have a lawyer because we're not family anymore. I mean, this is people now trying to dissolve a business that went bad, basically. Because we paid for the land out of the family account.
We all paid for it equally.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't pay for Coyote Pass all equally. I paid for an entire lot all by myself, at least 92% of it.
Let's get completely honest here. She just said the quiet part out loud. That is, Janelle did. And she said, this is the dissolution of a business partnership that broke down. And that's the truth. Sister Wives is a business. And working for Sister Wives has been the primary income source for the entire family. Without the Sister Wives income, this family would not have the money that they have today to be fighting over in these episodes. But it would be really weird for the family to be on camera telling you guys that they are fighting over the show, right? So they have to use coded language when they say things like, we're public, and I make public statements, and then it comes back to me. So they're admitting like they're breaking that wall and saying, we're on a show and we talk crap about each other. That's how we make our money. Then when they talk about the family account, what they really mean is that it's an account that was designed and built when this show was first launched back in 2010. See, TLC has a way of doing contracts. In fact, all of reality television has a way of doing contracts. And if you have learned anything from this channel, you should know that Jill Duggar wrote a book called Counting the Costs, and she explained the contracts at TLC. You see, TLC doesn't pay people individually from families per episode. There is massive misinformation currently about the amount of money that's being paid out to Sister Wives cast. Sister Wives cast and the show is very low budget. So low budget that for the longest time, these women weren't able to do as much as other people on other reality shows. So if you were to compare the income that was made on this show's cast versus like the Real Housewives on Bravo, it's not even remotely the same. When you have an ensemble cast, they will pay the ensemble separately. So each person brought on is negotiated their own salary. But what TLC does is they bypass all of it. They put the responsibility of payment into the individual that holds the contract. In this case, Kody Brown held the contract with TLC. Kody Brown and his production company, Kody Brown Entertainment, LLC, was where the money TLC sent the money. They agreed with Kody Brown Family Entertainment, LLC, to an episodic fee per episode of whatever it was. There's misinformation currently that each one of the cast is making $45,000 an episode. Absolutely false. 100% false. There's absolutely no way, because that budget would exceed any budget I've ever seen for TLC ever in the history of the network. And this show isn't even making anywhere near what it could be making. The ratings aren't the same as last year. It's just the money's not there. Are they doing well financially? Obviously, because you've got them buying property, you have them getting second houses, you have Kody buying a $2 million home, but they also have debt. Okay. So even though they have the money, they're also spending the money, and and some of them have a lot of mortgages. So they're fighting over the money that was paid to the episodic fees that were paid to Kody and the Families, LLC, Kody Brown Family Entertainment. When that money went there, it was Kody's responsibility to pay people. Now, Kody is trying to blame Janelle and say it was Janelle's responsibility to pay people. So when he talks about bills needing to be paid, he's meaning it was your responsibility to pay the other people in the family. It's not my fault you didn't do that. So what they did was, when the money was paid by TLC to Kody Brown Family Entertainment, it went into that one pot, and the show money was there. That was it. Before that, they didn't have joint accounts. Before the show, this isn't how they did their money. They had separate bank accounts. They didn't combine their assets. It wasn't like that. And then the show money is the family money. And what Janelle is saying is that Kody's using all the show money for himself. So she's basically saying, without saying it, is we are working for free for Kody. He is spending all of the money that we've made on the show. And now that we've left, we have to dissolve our partnership with him, because for the last several years, we have been pretending to be a family when we weren't. And we were doing this job together, and Kody was the one getting paid. And for several years before we all split, he was the one liquidating the funds. So Janelle did not have the money to pay for a home, because she also gave the equity she had from her sale at Vegas, and she put that into the fund. Kody was constantly trying to take money from their businesses to have them put that in the fund. What Kody was trying to do was, through his contract with TLC and through his entertainment company, was using the Kody Brown Family Entertainment, LLC, to control the assets of every single person and to control the contracts and the work of every person, because they're all in this together. That's something that Janelle has said as well. So he's behaving a lot like Jim Bob Duggar and acting like he owns the rights of the people on the show and all the work that they get because of the show, and that he gets a cut of that, which isn't true, and it should never have been that way. And Janelle and Mary are realizing how naive they were because they didn't pay attention to the fact that Cody was spending all the money. And because Mary wasn't looking at the pot and she wasn't in charge of paying people's salaries to them, that was Janelle's job, not Cody's. Mary's waking up to the idea that, oh my God, maybe all these things that I thought about Cody and what we were doing weren't true. Maybe he had motives that were nefarious. I never would have thought that this is what he would have done, but it could be true. And we're going to kind of dive into that into another video because Mary is starting to wake up to how all of this could have been a big ruse, a huge ruse for her. That Cody might have manufactured all of this so that he could potentially walk away with all the money from the show and make Robin and him benefit from all of it. So when we talk about trafficking, which some people appeared to be offended by, human trafficking is one of the most common prosecuted offenses of polygamists in the United States. Why is this a problem in polygamy? Because the men control everything. And under their doctrine and covenants, it is clear that the women are property of the men. And so because the men believe the women are property, they believe they have the right to do whatever they want with the women and the children. And because the children are born for the purpose of the man and his exaltation, the men believe that the children are his property. And so what they end up doing is labor trafficking the children and labor trafficking the wife. And the wives give all of their money to the man, and they're told it's for the greater good. But really, it's to enrich the man. And so when we talk about trafficking, that's what we mean. It means you're working for someone and being coerced to work for someone, and they're taking all the money and you're not benefiting from it. It's uncomfortable. We don't want to talk about it because how could this be happening on TV? But Derek Dillard and Jill Dillard have made the same claims about Jim Bob. What the patriarchs and the leaders of these families are doing on reality television on TLC is akin to human trafficking and labor trafficking. And that's the sad reality. But they'll never say this on television. So what are your thoughts about this aha wake up moment for the ladies? Tell me in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. And please click the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, everyone.